1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Conventional. That's what we all been taught, right? Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. What he about to say now? What he about to say now? God damn. Nigga always coming with some wild shit. Hey, I'm just here to make you think. Nothing more, nothing less. You see, when you get this far, you realize everything that you were taught was a complete lie. Everything. Down to who you are as a person, down to what your perception of what the earth looks like, down to everything is a lie. So do you believe that you were taught the proper way to count? Do you believe that you were taught properly by your enemy? Did your enemy give you the right perception of what is real and what is actuality? Because in actuality, I am on top. In actuality, I am supreme. I am sovereign in my own right. Because I have the only thing that is sovereign inside of me. I have the everlasting energy flowing within me. I have the nameless energy inside of me. I have the thing that can be undefined, glowing, penetrating inside of me. What do you have? Because in actuality, the Negro is the only real thing. Or the so-called Negro is the only pure thing left. Might need to clean your ears out a little bit. Clean both of them out a little bit. Hear me loud and clear. You are the only real thing. Because everyone else has been mixed in, has been amalgamated. So let's go through this quick math lesson one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or oh man. Or 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Zero. Think about it for a second. Open your minds up and allow yourself to think. What is 0? And what is 1? How can nothing be something and something be nothing? Easily, it becomes undefined. It goes into the world of abstract. Because what is nothing? Nothing. One more time. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Zero. It's all about make sense in a little bit. How many letters are there in the Hebrew alphabet? Alphabet. Alphabet. 22, correct? (22) divided by 7. We know that we're supposed to be resting on the 7th day, correct? 22 divided by 7. 3.14. What is 3.14? Pi. What is pi? Ah. How can nothing be something? Because when you serve the everlasting, when you serve the one who gave you the law, not the prophet who gave you the law, but the energy who is the law, that is the law, what do you become? Everything. So can you name everything? Can you name the everlasting? Or does the everlasting penetrate through time, penetrate through space, and becomes the perfect form of creation? So what is the number 9 really? One, conventional. 0. Damn. What is binary? What is the binary code? When you look at it, it's a whole bunch of ones and zeros. And why do people who study binary get paid so much money? For just simply coding ones and zeros. One is divisible into everything. And 0 is the base. Get back to your indigenous mind. Get your wall of protection. Meditate on the law daily. Things that were abstract will become clearer in your mind when you allow the everlasting energy, the Great Spirit to take you over. When you call out to His name only. Because He is your Savior only. So is it really 10 commandments or the complete commandments? Is it really 10 commandments or the complete commandments? The complete wall of protection given around His children. The law of creation. Come on now. We already read that in the scriptures a couple drops ago. In Baruch. This is why we get the Torah within us. This is why we seek His name only, because He is the only giver of knowledge, the only giver of understanding, the only true giver of wisdom. So when you see those 9 commandments, know that you are complete. Know that the binary code of creation is in you. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. The perfect circle. So when you celebrate the Sabbath, you are in the everlasting energy of creation. That's why the wall of protection given to our people is so important. That's why the Torah, our written scripture, is so important. Because it's constant food that strengthens you daily. So when you think of your brother, make sure you think of the law first. Before you pick up your phone and call your brother, make sure you think of the law. When you speak words to the people around you, make sure the law filters your word first. Because when you become this exclusive, you can only share your energy with those of like mind. And the purifying process is still going on. I know what I am going to become. I know that my future is great. My future is bright. Bright as fuck. So you choose your side. Will you create or will you try to destroy? Will you lean to your own understanding or to the understanding of the Most High? Because we know that the Torah is for us. We know that the design of the law was in motion before we were created. We cannot put a title on our creator. We cannot try to put our creator in a box. Because our creator gave us his name. We didn't give the name to him. How can nothing be something? How can the abstract become concrete? I'm gonna get deeper eventually. That was just a taste. I hope that warmed y'all up a little bit. Hope that got y'all minds racing. What is 1 and 0 really? I ain't just come here to give y'all a math lesson. I ain't come here for that. But I hope y'all got what I was saying. Jubilees, chapter 3. And on the 6th day of the 2nd week we brought, according to the word of Hawa, unto Adam all the beasts, and all the cattle, and all the birds, and everything that moveth on the earth, and everything that moveth in the water, according to their kind, according to their types, the beasts on the 1st day, the cattle on the 2nd day, the birds on the 3rd day, and all that which moveth on the earth on the 4th day, and that which moveth in the water on the 5th day. And Adam named them all by their respective names, and as he called them, so was their name. One thing I understand about Adam was a man of great wisdom. Because we understand that his English language is a spell. We understand that it's a coded language, a language of wizardry. You understand how precious your indigenous tongue is. Because when we name things on what they are. So when you name an animal on what it does, on what it is, on what it becomes. Because when the Creator gave us his name, it included past, present, and future. Verse 3. And on these 5 days Adam saw all these, male and female, according to every kind that was on the earth. But he was alone and found no helpmeet for him. And Hawa said unto us, it is not good that the man should be alone. Let us make a helpmeet for him. And Hawa, our Creator, caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. And he slept. And he took for the womb man one rib from amongst his rib. And this rib was the origin of the woman. From amongst his rib, he built up the flesh in it instead and built the woman. So the divine principle of wisdom is the personification of woman, of woman. Because we understand that our only protection is wisdom, is the law. The law of creation. The law of the everlasting. Get back to your right mind. Stop asking the Most High for knowledge. Ask him for understanding and wisdom. so that you can see the things you never saw before. You can hear the things you never saw before. Verse 6. And he awakened Adam out of his sleep, and on awaking he rose on the sixth day, and he brought her to him. And he knew her, and said unto her, This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She will be called my wife, because she was taken from her husband. Therefore shall man and wife be one. How can one and one form one? How can one and one form one? Because they become one. And in becoming one, they create one. Therefore shall man and wife be one, and therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. In the first week was Adam created, and the rib, his wife, in the second week he showed her unto him, and for the reason the commandment was given to keep in their defilement. For a male 7 days, and for a female twice 7 days. And after Adam had completed 40 days in the land where he had been created, we brought him into the Garden of Eden to till and keep it. But his wife they brought in on the 18th day. And after this she entered into the Garden of Eden. And for this reason the commandment is written on the heavenly tables in regard to her that giveth birth. If she beareth a male, she shall remain in her uncleanness 7 days according to the first week of days. And 30 and 33 days shall she remain in the blood of her purifying. And she shall not touch any hollow thing, nor enter into the sanctuary until she accomplish these days, which are enjoined in the case of a male child. But in the case of a female child, she shall remain in her uncleanness 2 weeks of days, according to the first 2 weeks, and 66 days in the blood of her purification. And they will be in all 80 days. And when she had completed these 80 days, we brought her into the Garden of Eden, for it is holier than all the earth besides, and every tree that is planted in it is holy. So when you imagine the Garden of Eden, what do you think of? Sometimes I think the Garden of Eden breaks our perception of what we think beautiful is. Because I don't believe that in this current state that we're in, we can fathom what it really looked like. When you see those ancient trees that were cut off, how much wisdom was inside of them? How much wisdom did the first men and women have? How much wisdom do we not have now? So much so that we do not lean on the understanding of the Creator, but we lean on the understanding of ourselves. Because we know that men are faulty. We know that men have their faults. But He is perfect. He is creation. The Creator cannot be defined. Past, future, present. His energy flows through it all. Therefore, there was ordained regarding her who beareth a male or female child the statute of those days, that she should touch no hollow thing, nor enter into the sanctuary until these days for the male or female child are accomplished. This is the law and testimony which was written down for Hawa Israel, in order that they should observe it in all days, and in the first week of the first Jubilee, or first Hawabelee, and the first week and in the first week of the first Hawabelee, Adam and his wife were in the Garden of Eden for 7 years, tilling and keeping it. And we gave him work, and we instructed him to do everything that is suitable for tillage. And he tilled the garden and was naked and knew it not, and was not ashamed. And he protected the garden from the birds and the beasts and the cattle, and gathered its fruits and ate, and put aside the residue for himself and for his wife, and put aside that which was being kept. And for the completion of the 7 years, which he had completed there 7 years exactly, and in the second month, on the 17th day of the month, the serpent came and approached the woman. And the serpent said to the woman, Hath God commanded you, saying, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And he said to it, Of all the fruit of the trees of the garden hath Hawa said unto us, Eat. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Hawa said unto us, Ye shall not eat thereof, neither shall you touch it, lest you die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for Hawa doth know that on that day you shall eat thereof. Your eyes will be open, and ye shall be as gods, and you will know good and evil. And the woman saw that the tree, it was agreeable and pleasant to the eye, and its fruit was good for food. And she took thereof and ate. And when she had first covered her shame with fig leaves, she gave thereof to Adam, and he ate. And his eyes were opened, and he saw that he was naked. And he took fig leaves and sewed them together, and made an apron for himself, and covered his shame. And God cursed the serpent, and was wroth with it forever. And he was wroth with the woman, because she hearkened to the voice of the serpent, and did eat. And he said unto her, I shall greatly multiply thy sorrow, and thy pains in sorrow. Thou shalt bring forth children. Excuse me. And he was wroth with the woman, because she hearkened to the voice of the serpent, and did eat. And he said unto her, I shall greatly multiply thy sorrow, and thy pains in sorrow. Thou shalt bring forth children, and thy return shall be unto thy husband, and he will rule over thee. And unto Adam also he said, Because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat thereof, cursed be the ground for thy sake. thorns and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat thy bread in the sweat of thy face, till thou returnest to the earth from whence thou wast taken. For earth thou art, and unto earth shalt thou return. And he made them coats of skin, and clothed them, and sent them forth to the Garden of Eden. Let me ask you this. I'm talking to this man. What were you before you fell? What level of abstractness did you have? What power did you possess? The more you think about it, it's the more you realize why you have to come back to the law. Why you have to meditate on it daily. Verse 27. And on that day which Adam went forth from the garden, he offered as sweet savor an offering, frankincense, galbadon, and stacked, and spices in the morning with the rising sun from the day when he covered his shame. And on that day was closed the mouth of all beasts, and of cattle, and of birds, and whatever walketh, and whatever moveth, so that they could no longer speak. Damn. Don't you get it? Hasn't it clicked in your head yet? When you fall, everything fell. When you rise, all of nature rises. So your ways cannot be of the way of the Gentile. Your way cannot be of the foreign nations. You have to be set apart in every fucking way. Because this whole earth is waiting for you. When you realize that you are autochthonous and that you come from Ami, the first land that rose out of the primordial waters. And we know that what you are made out of the primordial sea, the primordial water. You know that you are the first man. And as we just read, Adam named the animals with wisdom. So you have a connection that no one else has.